Yep, it's afternoon garage time. I'm going to continue work on the 911 here. I'm going to put some hood struts in the front and the rear. I looked up, maybe I could find a video on this, and maybe somebody else had already done this, but couldn't find anything, just something on the 996s and the 997s and the newer cars, but nothing for the air-cooled vehicles. So I'm really tired of the frunk and the rear deck lid falling on my head. So let's fix that today. So the lift supports we're going to be using today are from Boxy. And that looks like the front one. The rear one here looks like it's a little bit smaller. Also make sure when you get this one that you specify whether or not you have a spoiler, because I think this piston's just a little bit bigger, has a little more pressure, and is able to push the deck lid up more if you have more weight on it. That's all you got to know there. Let's throw them in. Alright, this is how it fits right now. You can see right in here, there's a big gap in here that kind of closes up. And so this whole thing needs to come up on the rear here. I think it's kind of hitting in the center. And then as you get down here, it's actually latched. It's latched, and well, there's a huge gap there. Come over to the other side. Got kind of a small gap, and it's kind of even and narrows in. So I think the thing to do is get these lift supports on and make sure the lift supports are on before I do any alignments on this thing, because I know that when you have the lift supports pushing on the hinges, well, everything changes. Well, one trick I can tell you is that when I do these lift supports, you kind of have to prop it up, and you know, sometimes people use a, I don't know, 2x4 or something like that to hold it up. Because this obviously, man, this is a lot of weight. So what I do is this, is I have a telescoping, you know, something you used to wash your car with. It's got a threaded end on it. And you can just twist it and it'll stay wherever you want it to stay. So if you want to prop the hood up in a certain place, you kind of just unscrew it, put it to where it belongs. Then you tighten it up. Easy as that. You don't have to cut anything to length or go out and get a piece of PVC pipe in the backyard or something like that. It's all ready to go, whatever length you want. I didn't even drop any hardware. That's amazing. I put the new ones in. And after looking at this, I kind of look at it and I see how the brackets are. I'm pretty much convinced that this was assembled incorrectly. So I'm going to have to go back. I can kind of see what's wrong. I kind of see how it needs to go together. How it was put together is not how it was. So, but with just one strut, look at that. One strut holds it up. So 2 struts are going to be great. I think I'll do some research. Come back, put this thing in correctly.
1 hour later.
Alright, so I kind of got it how I want it. You'll see kind of where everything is. I'll probably be making, when I take the motor out, I'm probably going to do a hood strut on either side. So, and kind of balance these out, but that'll work for now. Okay, that's pretty good. I still have the problem where it's lifted up on the side. That's where this comes in. Not much better. I think I'll keep working with it. The other thing I'm going to do is probably loosen the bolts and slide the whole thing over that way. It's probably going to change my latch location. You know, lining body panels like this is, it's never, you can mess around for hours. I know those Firebird doors, messed around with those doors for probably 2 or 3 days before I got the gaps and everything exactly where I wanted it. All right, after I messed with this a little bit, you can see that gap is a lot better. Basically, all I did was loosen the bolts and then pull this thing that way. And then I tweaked the trunk a little bit manually. That was pretty ugly, but lines up really good now. That gap is all fixed there. And another thing that I did was I pulled the trunk downwards to get this to seat a little bit more, and then adjusted the bumper on this side. It was basically just a push, pull, and tug thing until the gaps came right in. So this took me probably 2 hours. And I think it was well worth it. Well, that kind of got ugly in the deck lid back there. I didn't expect there to be that much alignment. You know, adjusting the little bumpers back there and, you know, tweaking the panel and pushing it a little bit, and of course adjusting the striker up and down and left to right. You know, you're able to get it reasonably close. I would say that's one of the jobs where the more experience you have, the quicker the job's going to be and the better off the results are going to be. But hey, you know, the thing sits there, it shuts now, opens up, doesn't hit the back of my head. I think later in the future what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these struts and put them on either side of that hinge there so that they can push evenly on both sides. Although I think it's actually designed to be able to do that. And after I adjusted the panel, well, it doesn't really lift on that side anymore. So not really sure if that's going to be on my priority list when I have the motor out, but you know, once the motor's out, you're in there. I'll check and see if I have that other bracket on the other side. But hey, this was all good. Real quick video. I know there's no other videos out there that really shows, you know, real time how to change all these struts at the same time, which kind of, you know, they kind of go out at the same time. So, but, you know, everything works really well now. Everything goes up and down. Doesn't come down and hit my head. You'll find out these things will actually fail when it gets cold. So maybe good to check these things when you go outside or out in the shop or garage. you know, when it's a little cooler out here. It's summertime now, so you know, all these things are going to kind of come back to life, and they're going to give you problems when it gets cooler. So hey, like this content, please subscribe. More videos to come.